Brihad Aranyaka Upanishad in simple English, part 14 of 15, Khila Kanda, continued, chapter 6, sections 1, 2, 3, and 4. This part deals with the six bodily functions and with the importance of life breath, life after death, and the means of attaining a great wish. He who knows the oldest and the greatest becomes the oldest and the greatest of his own people. Life breath is the oldest and the greatest, and he who knows this becomes the oldest and the greatest not only of his own people but also of those others of whom he wishes to become as such. He who knows the most excellent becomes the most excellent of his own people. Speech is the most excellent, and he who knows this becomes the most excellent not only of his own people but of those others of whom he wishes to become as such. He who knows the firm basis has a firm basis both on the even and on the uneven ground. The eye indeed is the firm basis, for with the eye one has a firm basis on both the even and the uneven ground, and he who knows this, he too has a firm basis on both the even and the uneven ground. He who knows prosperity attains whatever he desires. The ear indeed is prosperity, for it is in the ear that all the Vedas and all the learning is attained. He who knows this, he attains whatever he desires. He who knows the abode becomes the abode not only of his own people but of others as well. The mind is the abode, and he who knows this becomes the abode not only of his own people but of others as well. He who knows procreation procreates himself with children and cattle. Semen, in fact, is procreation. He who knows this procreates himself with progeny and cattle. All the vital breaths in the body began quarreling among themselves about who was superior among them. They went to Brahma and asked him, which of us is the most important and superior among us? Brahma replied, that one of you is the superior among you, after whose departure this body is thought to be worse off. They therefore decided to leave the body one by one to see which of them was the most important. First of all, the organ of speech departed, and having remained absent for a year, came back and asked, how have you been able to live without me? They replied, we lived as the dumb live, not able to speak, but breathing with the breath, seeing with the eye, hearing with the ear, knowing with the mind, and procreating with semen. That is how we have lived. Then speech entered the body. Next the eye departed, and having remained absent for a year, came back and asked, how have you been able to live without me? They replied, we lived as the blind live, not seeing with the eye, but breathing with the breath, speaking with speech, hearing with the ear, knowing with the mind, and procreating with semen. This is how we have lived. Then the eye entered into the body. Next, the ear departed, and having remained absent for a year, came back and asked, how have you been able to live without me? They replied, we lived as the deaf live, not hearing with the ear, but breathing with the breath, speaking with the speech, seeing with the eye, knowing with the mind, and procreating with semen. Thus have we lived. Then the ear entered in. The mind departed next, and having remained absent for a year, came back and asked, how have you been able to live without me? They replied, we lived as the stupid live, not knowing with the mind, but breathing with the breath, speaking with speech, seeing with the eye, hearing with the ear, and procreating with the semen. Thus have we lived. Then the mind entered in. Next, semen, responsible for generation, departed, and after having remained absent for a year, came back and asked, how have you been able to live without me? They replied, as the impotent live, not procreating with semen, but breathing with the breath, speaking with the speech, seeing with the eye, hearing with the ear, and knowing with the mind. Thus have we lived. Then the seaman entered in. Then came the turn of the life breath. As he was about to depart, even as a large, fine horse of the Indus land might pull up the pegs to which his feet are tied, even so did life breath pull up all the other vital breaths together to go with it. Then all the others, realizing that life breath was the most important among them, said to the life breath, "Respected sir, do not go out of the body, for truly we shall not be able to live without you. You are indeed the greatest among us all." Breath said, "If I am such, then make me an offering." "So be it," they all said. Speech said, "In all that in which I am the most excellent, in all that you are the most excellent too. In all that in which I am a firm basis, in all that you are a firm basis too," said the eye. "In all that in which I am prosperity, in all that you are prosperity too," said the ear. "In all that in which I am an abode, in all that you are an abode too," said the mind. "In all that in which I am procreation, in all that you are procreation too," said the semen. "If such is what I am," said breath, "then what is my food? Then what is my dwelling? All that is here in existence, even what is for dogs, for worms, for insects, and for birds, all that is your food, and water is your dwelling. He who knows that as the food of life breath, by him nothing is eaten that is not food, nothing is received that is not food. Therefore, the wise men who are versed in the Vedas, when they are about to eat, they take a sip of water, and after they have eaten, they again take a sip of water. This is how they think they remove the nakedness of the food. King Swetaketu Aranya once went to an assembly of the Panchals, where he saw Pravahan Jayavali, who was having his servants wait on him. He went up to him and asked him, "Young man, have you been taught by your father?" "Yes," he replied. Then the king asked him the following questions: "Do you know that people here on departing from this life separate and go in different directions? Do you know how they come back again into this world? Do you know why the world over there is not filled up with the many who keep going there again and again? Do you know in which oblation that is offered that the water becomes the voice of a person, rises up and speaks? Do you know how to go to the path leading to the gods, or to the one leading to the fathers? That is, by doing what? People go to the path of the gods, or go to the path of the fathers. For we have heard the saying of the seer, I have heard of two paths for men, the one that leads to the fathers, and the one that leads to the gods. By these two paths, all that lives moves on to the other worlds, whatever there is between Father Heaven and Mother Earth." Pravahan Jayavali did not know the answer to any of these questions. "Not a single one of them do I know," he admitted. Then the king invited him to stay. Disregarding the invitation to stay, the young man ran off and went straight to his father, and agitated said, "You have always spoken of me as being well instructed." "What then, wise one?" asked the father. "That fellow of the princely class asked me 5 questions. I did not know the answer of even one of them." "What are these questions, my child?" "These," and he repeated the questions and the topics. The father said, "My child, you should know that whatever I myself know, all that I have taught you. But come, let us go there to the king, and live as students of sacred knowledge." "You may go, sir," said the son. "I will not go." Then Gautam went to Swetketu Arunai, who gave him a respectful welcome, and had a seat and water brought for him. Then he said to him, "We offer a boon to the revered Gautam." Then Gautam said, "As the boon, please tell me the answers to the questions you asked my son." The king replied, "Gautam, what you ask for is among divine boons. Please ask for some human boon." Gautam spoke. It is well known, sir, that I am rich and have abundance of gold, cows, horses, maidservants, retinue, and apparel. Be not ungenerous towards me, sir, in regard to that which is abundant, which is the abundant, the infinite, and the unlimited. Tell me about the spiritual world. Then you should seek it in the usual form, said the king. Gautam said, Sir, I come to you as a pupil. With this declaration, indeed, did the ancients approach their teachers as pupils. So, with this announcement of his coming as a pupil, Gautam remained. Then the king said to him, Please do not be offended with me, even as your ancestors were not with ours. This knowledge has never so far dwelt with any Brahmin whatsoever, but I shall teach it to you. For who can refuse you when you speak like this? The world over there is a sacrificial fire. The sun itself is the fuel of this fire. The rays of the sun are its smoke. The day is the flame. The quarters of space are the coals. The intermediate quarters are the sparks. In this fire, the gods offer faith. Out of that offering, King Moon, king of the ancestors and of the Brahmins, is born. Parjanya, the god of rain, O Gautam, is fire. The air itself is the fuel of this fire. The clouds are its smoke. The lightning is the flame. The thunderbolt, the coals. The thundering, the sparks. In this fire, the gods offer the king moon. From that offering of the moon, rain is produced. This world is the abode where all creatures are born and where they experience the results of their past works, which consist of action, its factors, and its results. This world truly is fire, O Gautam. The earth itself is the fuel of this fire. Fire is the smoke, night is the flame, the moon the coals, and the stars the sparks. In this fire, the gods offer the rain. Out of that offering of rain, food is produced. The person, the man, O Gautam, is fire. The open mouth of the man is the fuel. The vital breaths are the different kinds of smoke. Speech the flame. The eyes the coals, and the ears are the sparks. In this fire, the gods offer the food. Out of that offering of food, semen or the seed is produced. The woman Gautam is fire. In this fire, the gods offer the semen, the seed. Out of this offering, a person, a man is born. He lives the duration of his life as long as he is destined to live. Then, when he dies, they carry him to be offered in fire. His fire itself becomes the fire. His fuel becomes the fuel. His smoke becomes the smoke. His flame becomes the flame. His coals become the coals. And his sparks become the sparks. In this fire, the gods offer the person. Out of this offering, the person, having the color of light, radiant, exceedingly bright, having been purified by the rites performed, right from his conception to the time of his cremation, arises. Those who know this as such, and those too who meditate with faith in the forest on the truth, on the Satya which is Brahm, pass into the light. From the light they pass into the day. From the day they pass into the half month of the waxing of the increasing moon. From the half month of the waxing moon they pass into the 6 months during which the sun travels northward, the Uttarayan, the northern path. From these months they pass into the world of the gods. From the world of the gods they pass into the sun. From the sun they pass into lightning, into fire. Then the person who consists of the mind goes to those regions of lightning and leads them to the worlds of Brahma. In those worlds of Brahma, they live for long periods. These persons do not return into the world again. But those persons who, by sacrificial offerings, by charity and austerity, conquer the worlds, they pass into the smoke of the cremation fire. From the smoke, they pass into the night. From the night, they pass into the half month of the waning of the decreasing moon, from the half month of the waning moon, they pass into the 6 months during which the sun travels southward, the Dakshinayan, the southern path. From these months, they pass into the world of the fathers, the ancestors. From the world of the fathers, they pass into the moon. Reaching the moon, they become food. There, the gods enjoy them as the priests enjoy the som juice, saying, increase, decrease, and so they feed on them there. When their past work is exhausted, they become like ether and pass into space. From space they go into air. From air they go into rain. From rain they go into the earth. Reaching the earth they become food. Again they are offered in the fire of man, from where they are born in the fire of woman, with a view to going to other worlds. Thus do they keep on rotating in this way. But those who do not know these two ways, they become insects, they become moths, and whatever there is here that bites. Whoever wishes, saying, may I attain greatness in the northern course of the sun, or on an auspicious day of the half month of the waxing moon, having performed one upasad ceremony for 12 days, having collected in a dish made of the wood of the sacred fig tree, or in a cup, all herbs and their fruits, having swept around, having smeared around, having built up a fire, having strewn it around, having purified the melted butter in the prescribed manner, having compounded the offering on a day presided over by a male star, he makes an offering, saying, O all-knowing fire, to all those gods under you who spitefully slay the desires of a person, I offer them a share. Let them, being satisfied, satisfy me with all my desires. Hail to that deity who turns out spiteful under your protection, saying, I support all. I offer this stream of melted butter. Hail to the oldest, hail to the greatest, hail. Saying this, he offers an oblation in the fire and pours the remainder in the mixed potion. To the vital breath, hail! To the richest, hail! Saying this, he offers an oblation in the fire, and the remainder he pours in the mixed potion. To speech, hail! To the firm bases, hail! Saying this, he offers an oblation in the fire, and pours the remainder in the mixed potion. To the eye, hail! To prosperity, hail! Saying this, he offers an oblation in the fire, and pours the remainder in the mixed potion. To the ear, hail! To the abode, hail! Saying this, he offers an oblation in the fire, and pours the remainder in the mixed potion. To the mind, hail! To procreation, hail! Saying this, he offers an oblation in the fire, and pours the remainder in the mixed potion. To the semen, hail! Saying this, he offers an oblation in the fire, and pours the remainder in the mixed potion. Saying, hail! He offers an oblation in the fire to each of these, and pours the remainder in the mixed potion. He offers an oblation to fire, to the moon, to the earth, to the atmosphere, to the sky, to the heavens, to the earth, to the atmosphere and sky, to Brahminhood, to Kshatrahood, to the past, to the future, to the universe, to all things, and to Prajapati. Then he touches the mixed portion, saying, you are the moving as the breath, you are the burning as the fire, you are the full as the sky, you are the steadfast as the sky, you are the one resort as the earth, you are the sound hin that is made at the beginning of the sacrifice by the Prastotra priest. You are the making of the sound hin. You are the loud chant sung by the Udgatra priest at the beginning of the sacrifice. You are the chanting. You are recited by the Advaryu priest, and you are recited back by the Agnidra priest. You are the glowing in the moist cloud. You are the pervading. You are the ruler. You are food as the moon. You are light as fire. You are the end. You are that in which all things merge. Then he raises it, saying, you know all. We too are aware of your greatness. He is indeed the King, the ruler, the highest Lord. May He make me King, the ruler, and the highest Lord. Then he sips it, saying, on that adorable light, the wind blows softly for the righteous. The rivers pour forth honey. May the herbs be sweet for us. To earth, hail. Let us meditate on divine glory. May the night and the day be sweet for us. May the dust of the earth be sweet for us. May heaven our Father be sweet to us. To the atmosphere, hail! May he inspire and illumine our understanding. May the tree be sweet to us. May the sun be sweet to us. May the cows be filled with sweetness for us. To the heaven, hail! He repeats the whole Savitri hymn and all the verses about honey, saying, may I indeed be all this. Hail to the earth, atmosphere, and heaven. Having thus sipped all, having washed his hands, he lies down behind the fire with his head towards the east. In the morning he worships the sun, saying of the quarters of heaven, you are the one lotus flower. May I become the one lotus flower among men. Then he goes back the same way by which he came, sits behind the fire on the altar, and recites the genealogical line of teachers. Then Udalak Aruni told this to his pupil, Vajsane Yagyavalkya, who told it to his pupil Madhuk, son of Pangi, who told it to his pupil Kula Bhagwati, who told it to his pupil Janaki Ayasthun, who told it to his pupil Jabal Satyakam, and said, if one should sprinkle this even on a dry stump, branches would grow and leaves spring forth. Satyakam then told this to his pupils and said, if one should sprinkle this on a dry stump, branches would grow and leaves spring forth. One should not tell this knowledge to one who is not a son, or to one who is not a pupil, as these two are the only eligible ones to receive the sacred knowledge. Fourfold is the wood of the sacred fig tree. Four things are made of it: the spoon, the bowl, the fuel, and the two churning rods. There are 10 cultivated grains used, namely rice and barley, sesamum and beans, millet and panic seeds, wheat, lentils, pulse and vetches, which are climbing plants of the pea family. They should be ground and soaked in curds, honey, and clarified butters. And then he offers melted butter as an oblation. End of part 14 of 15. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om.